collaboration with the NHL and Sportsnet.
It's Hall of Fame weekend on Hockey Night in Canada. Should be shining tonight on Hockey Night in Canada.
Hello, Canada and hockey fans of the United States and Newfoundland.
This is Hockey Night in Canada on Sportsnet.
You want action? We've got action for you here tonight.
Oh, did you see that?
What a performance. Doesn't get any better than this.
Oh, baby. What a play! What a goal! He's got a stick. He's in. Scores!
There's a chance for Crosby.
He scores!
Absolutely amazing. The Dominator, Dominic Hasek in Buffalo tonight, where Joseph Woll plays in goal for Toronto. It's a big night for Woll, the Leafs and the Sabres, and it is Hockey Hall of Fame weekend. And Brad Rempel, High Valley, multiple awards as top duo or group at the Canadian Country Music Awards with that incredible opening. And dear friend of Colby Armstrong's got a new hot single, Not Never. You'll hear a little bit about that as we go on here. But yeah, go Daddy. That's one. Toronto, Buffalo. We've got Montreal, Detroit. We've got Los Angeles and Winnipeg. And we've got Pittsburgh and Ottawa. 4 early telecasts tonight nationwide on Hockey Night in Canada. The Jets, Kyle Connor has been on a tear. And later this evening, we'll have Vancouver and Vegas. Brad Rempel, how'd you enjoy that?
Unbelievable. You can definitely find this somewhere on the internet. I've said many times if I could ever have a song on Hockey Night in Canada, I'd go crazy. So this is
you finally made it. You finally made it.
I did. Yeah,
Very
this is unbelievable. It's every dream I've been. I don't even know what to say. You guys do the talking. I'll just sit here.
Well, you know, Brad, Joseph Woll,
do the singing.
You're a goalie too, so it makes it all the better that he's got this big debut for the Leafs against Buffalo tonight. You had that moment to walk out of the Grand Ole Opry. Was that the biggest pressure you felt, or is there another one?
Yeah, that's probably got to be it. I remember we found out 5 days ahead of time. Mom and Dad, the whole family flew down, and it was unbelievable just seeing. Ricky Skaggs brought us out on stage that night, and he's our role model. He's the guy we grew up on. So I understand the feeling of having nerves walking out for the first time. That's some good stuff.
Did you have a mental trigger, a message, something that helped you sustain and get through that?
Oh, man. I mean, we said a prayer backstage, and I knew my whole family was praying for us. I think that's what got us through that for sure.
Great. How about the Leafs in Buffalo tonight, Kevin?
Yeah, well, the big story is the shuffling of the lines. Matthews and Nylander have been arguably, I don't even think it's an argument, but they've been the best 2 Leafs, and now Kase gets to play with them. I've played with this guy for 3 years. It's Kase, Kase. Like, I don't even know what his real name is, but let's just say it's Kase. He's been very good for them. Other than the top 4, he's the only other guy who's scored goals, and he's a 7th-round pick. That's a very, very high pick, and nobody really expected him to be here, but from the first time he started skating with the skills coach Larry Barron in Anaheim, they said this guy's going to play. He's got a high work ethic. He loves the game. He's enthusiastic, and Toronto fans are getting a little glimpse of that now.
And credit to Kevin. You called that even before they changed up the lines tonight, so you had the confidence in him. But
sometimes I'm right.
Sometimes. I'll give you that one, yes.
So he's hot, so's Los Angeles. Winnipeg's got their hands full with 7 in a row for the Kings.
They do, but Winnipeg has a lot going for them right now. You look at the chemistry that Pierre-Luc Dubois and Kyle Connor have found this season, scoring a variety of goals, feeding off each other well, and they've had some really solid play from their defensemen as well. When you have Morrissey and Pionk both in double digits for points, and Schmidt has been playing really well. There's some talk up front, shuffling the lines, putting Ehlers with Scheifele and Wheeler, but Wheeler addressed that 0 in terms of the goals that he scored this season, but he said that he will take that he'll get that taken care of in short order, is what he said yesterday.
We're moving faster with 4 games. Okay,
Yes.
Thomas Chabot's playing a ton. Tim Stützle's got his sophomore season that he's sorting out, and all the COVIDs and the injuries. How about him?
Yeah, 32 minutes last game for Chabot. He'll see more of the same. Both these teams have had COVID-related problems. This isn't going to endear me to the NHL, but it could be the COVID Cup tonight in Ottawa. We'll see who handles it best.
Not never. Colby Armstrong inspired it?
Colby Armstrong was doing some push-ups in a steakhouse after an episode of Kessa's House, the only episode I got to be on. And we're like,
lucky.
Arm Dog, you doing a workout right now? What's going on? He says, never not, bro, never not. You don't get a body like this without working out all the time. I'm never not working out. And I said, I'm going to write a song called Never Not, and we did it. He doesn't own any of the publishing, though.
What do you do, 6 push-ups?
Yeah.
3.5, I think.
He's a writer himself. You're High Valley. He's what? Half clapper, top cheddar. That's Colby Armstrong. Thank you, Brad. Really a treat to have you represent La Crete tonight.
Oh, thank you so much.
Games are next.
Across the border, the land border reopening earlier this week, allowing for that to happen. You know, of all the players the Leafs selected in 2016, just 2 remain under contract with the organization. Austin Matthews, of course, and Joseph Wall, who will be making his NHL debut here tonight in the building that he was drafted in. Sheldon Keefe told him a few days ago, earlier this week, he would be getting the start here, so plenty of time to get his mind wrapped around it, and plenty of time to get his family down from St. Louis. 12 in total in the house here tonight. Joseph Wall coming out, leading the team for warm-ups. Didn't get the traditional rookie lap that most skaters normally do, but now all of his focus is on the Buffalo Sabres, his first ever start in the NHL tonight. Chris and Craig in a moment, but first we'll hand things off to PA announcer Jay Moran.
Remove your hats for the Singing About Canada and the Star Spangled Banner. Performed tonight by Anna Hurt.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Finally back down the QEW and across the Peace Bridge at Fort Erie for the Maple Leafs to resume hostilities with their Atlantic Division rivals tonight at KeyBank Center in Buffalo. The first of 4 clashes this year. The other Buffalo home game will be the Heritage Classic at Tim Hortons Field in March. And it is the NHL debut for this 23-year-old from St. Louis, Joseph Woll. 50 games with the Marlies over the last 3 seasons. And at the other end, it'll be the Buffalo debut for Airdrie, Alberta's Aaron Dell. 1-5 last year with New Jersey. He has 49 career wins, 48 of them came with the San Jose Sharks. And there, Greg, is Dylan Cousins, a huge story last night, head-to-head with Connor McDavid in a win. And good job, kid, going against Austin Matthews tonight. Both teams back-to-back coming off wins last night. Buffalo over the Oilers, while the Leafs come back in the third and overtime to beat the Calgary Flames and have won 7 of 8. Matthews out there, and Andre Cascio gets the start on this line with Nylander. We'll see different combinations for Sheldon Keefe tonight.
And I don't mind it. You got 3 games in 4 nights, haven't been scoring early in games, only 2 goals in the first 2 periods in their last 3 games. To get a little bit of a different chemistry, get a little bit of a different focus.
Cousins to Julia Hinostroza. Dylan Cousins, who had 2 last night, gets an early look on Joseph Woll. Cousins looking for it again as Brody gets turned back and now reverses to Morgan Riley.
Chris, if you're ever looking for one save to settle yourself down, Joseph Woll just got it. Really good job tracking that pack. Got a nice good left pad down to make his first one quite a good one.
And as Kyle mentioned, he's had 3 or 4 days to think about it. Got told earlier in the week. Here's Tage Thompson trying to spin away from Jake Muzzin. The big man goes to the net and slides it wide. Thompson 6'7". And he centers this line along with Skinner, who takes the shot right on. Rebound left in front, and now John Tavares is back the other way. Nick Ritchie will ride shotgun on this line with Tavares and Mitch Marner in another revamped line here tonight. Knocked away from Asplund. Skinner will follow up. The former Markham Waxer moves inside the line, but lost it. And Marner will loft the backhand deep and start the Toronto change. Robert Hagg, the former Philadelphia Flyer, on this pairing along with Will Butcher as it's deflected down, and Woll will play it away. Timothy Liljegren in his 8th consecutive game. That jumped over the stick of Kerfoot, and it's an icing call against Toronto.
Well, you always remember your first game in the National Hockey League, and for Joseph Dell, here's the guy who was hot last night. As you mentioned, Dylan Cousins with a couple big goals against the Edmonton Oilers, got in tight, and then Thompson taking it hard to the net, and Woll does a nice job of tracking that. Now you got an opportunity to just breathe and settle down, just like any other game. I know it's hard to think that way, but you have to try to get there as a player to settle yourself down.
Face-off won by the Sabres. Here's Will Butcher back at the line, just played it into the corner, and the ricochet is sent back to Hagg, who sends it wide of the net. Ruotsalainen jumped on that, but his pass to the point is intercepted by Engvall. So it's Engvall with Kerfoot and Camp tonight, as Kerfoot switches spots with Andre Kasha, at least to start the night. Here's Kerfoot firing it around. Morgan Riley for Engvall, who hasn't not scored since opening night. Into the corner for Kerfoot, who has assists in the last 2. Camp to the net, in front for Engvall. It's in! How'd that go in? And the Leafs have the lead.
Well, at one end, we saw your first game in the National Hockey League in Woll. At the other end, Aaron Dell trying to get his opportunity
to get some confidence in the net. He's had a 1-9-1 record in his last 11 games, and what a start here. This one is like a curling rock going underneath Haig. He never even sees it. He's got the 5-hole open looking for it, and this one just finds a way to go through. Kemp tries to pull it back, loses it, then off a stick, gets just enough of it, and man, that barely made it to the back of the net. But you can see from Dell, he lost sight of the puck from his defenseman, thought it was under control. Kemp barely got enough of it to get it trickling over the line for the game's first goal.
Drew the intern to the button and has the Leafs' first goal of the game. First period goals have been an issue for Toronto. That's their first in the opening period in 4 games. 9 times this season, the Leafs held scoreless in the first period. That shot by Cody Eakin rejected. A pass for Opozo off the skate. And now retrieved here by Zemgus Girgensons, who's played over 500 games as a member of the Sabres. The Latvian forward on the forecheck, but the Leafs send it out to center. That's Camp's first goal since he tied the game in a comeback win against Chicago. Now Rasmus Dahlin starts out. Former #1 pick overall, Dahlin across, and a spinning attempt by Caggiula doesn't get to the net. Nylander an outlet, and now it's Hall onto the right side. Kasha with speed, trying to center it across. And Nylander unable to knock that down, and back the other way, it's Colin Miller, the Sault Ste. Marie native. It's sent down in behind the net for Vinny Hinostroza, one of 2 former Notre Dame Fighting Irish players in the Buffalo lineup. Anders Bjork, the other who scored last night. Bryson activating at the line, and now it's knocked down behind the Leaf net. There's Hinostroza. Caggiula to Hinostroza. Cousins is on it. Back to the line. Bryson shot, and that goes high in the air, but stays in play. Austin Matthews looks for it. 11 goals in 15 games against Buffalo for number 34 at the game winner last night. And back in he comes. Austin Matthews trying to twist away from the checking, and Bryson, the London, Ontario product, striding out to center for the Sabres. That flip back out, and on a counter, here comes Ritchie. Barreling down into the Buffalo zone, centered it. Tavares unable to get a stick on that. Travis Dermott follows up. Back in the lineup after sitting out 2, Rasmus Sandin out of the lineup tonight as he nurses some bumps and bruises. And Sheldon keeps saying he wants to utilize his depth. Here's a loose puck in front. And knocked away. Tavares behind the net. Marner goes to the front. Tavares tracked there by Asplund. Now Butcher leaned on by Ritchie. Puck along the boards, and Buffalo's going to move it out. Timothy Liljegren. I think it's the first time we've seen this pairing this year, Craig. Liljegren and Dermott.
And like he's done so often, is just little tweaks and trying to keep everybody honest, get a feel for which guys can play comfortably together. And the early returns from his offensive changeup added the all-important first goal of the game, just the 6th time of the year.
Wayne Simmons gets a rest tonight. 3rd and 4 for Toronto. Pass to an open wing and bump back to the blue line. There's Mark Pesic with a lead feed just out of the reach of Ruotsalainen. He had a goal disallowed last night, a high stick. In fact, both Edmonton and Buffalo, their first quote-unquote goals of the night were both disallowed. So a strange one for David Kampf, who has his 1st and 8 and has the icebreaker here tonight in Buffalo.
Buy, skip the dishes, order all your Game Time favorites now. Well, caught up with former goalie Mike McKenna today, who started coaching Joseph Wall at the Racine Goalie Academy when he was 10 years old. He shared this video from when he was 16. He said he could skate better than any goalie he's ever coached. He said he's head and shoulders the hardest worker he had, meticulous in his approach, the one goalie from that group that he thought had the best chance to make the NHL. His debut here tonight, and there's mom, Shelley, clapping along as the family made the trip in from St. Louis for this one tonight, Chris.
Yeah, part of that St. Louis delegation, a lot of them selected in this building in 2016 after Austin Matthews. Matthew Tkachuk was one of them, Joseph Wall another. Oh, good. David Camp, the goal scorer. Kerfoot and Engvall draw the assists, so Kerfoot has assists in the last 3. TJ Brodie winds it up. Engvall looks rink wide. There's Kerfoot on the move into the Buffalo zone. Back towards Engvall. He'll spin back towards the blue line, and a pass there for Camp off his stick and back out. So the core 4 now has 17 of the last 20. Somebody other than the Fab 4 and Andre Kasha with the goal as Camp gets on the board tonight. Semyonov took a whack at that, but it's taken away by Cousins, the former White Horse Mustang, and it's flipped into the Leaf bench.
JackpotCity.net. Casino games perfectly made for you.
Fall in love at first listen with the CBC Listen app. Find CBC Music Playlist, CBC Podcasts, CBC Radio shows on the CBC Listen app. Download it for free today. Here's Hinostroza. Back out there with Cousins. Played to the line, kept in by Will Butcher, and off the goal stick of Wall to the boards. Jake Muzzin's on it. Plus player last night, paired with Justin Hall as Hinostroza moves back in. That's off the blocker of Wall. Semyonov taps it out and heads up ice along with Spezza. Pass that skipped over the stick of Semyonov, who got a solid grade from his coach after his NHL debut in Philadelphia on Wednesday. Skinner ahead. Dictates Thompson to the line, and the play is offside.
Well, another one that got great grades from his coach, Don Granato, was Dylan Cousins going head-to-head against Connor McDavid. Here's the quick little release with good speed in the middle, but this play more than ever. He starts the play with a flip, and then watch the middle of your screen. He beats both McDavid and Draisaitl to the net, and that ends up being your game-winning goal. It's one of those moments of growth for a young player in a difficult matchup, and Don Granato really happy with his development. And it continues here, night after night. You be in an NHL, you got big game players every night.
There's a turnover, Skinner a backhand, and he fired that high. It'll come back to the line. Bryson for Asplund. Asplund recently a 16 point streak and one shy of his entire total from last year. Here's Nylander, who's been running hot. Taken away there, but kept in at the line as Matthews ins the board of Nylander, and now Matthews nearly stole it from Bryson again. Bryson was out there along with Cousins in the head-to-head battle against Connor McDavid last night.
Season high 23-19 for Bryson, and you saw an example there. He didn't panic. He had both Matthews and Nylander going after the puck and showed good patience, won the battle, and got the puck cleared.
Aiden rolls it down into the Leaf zone. Wall on the tape for Riley. The pass for Tavares doesn't work, and Dahlin will flip it back in. I'm interested in watching Dahlin, who we know is going to be a great player in this league, but there's been quite a few bumps early on in the road for the highly touted player, and a chance there is just fired wide. Nick Ritchie with another look, looking for his first Leaf goal. Tavares able to keep it alive, but now a penalty is coming up and a hooking call being assessed.
Well, a couple players looking to break a few slumps as Jeff Skinner gets an opportunity off of a turnover, an errant pass, all of a sudden going back the other way, but he puts himself in a tough spot with a bad angle on the backhand high, and here's another excellent pass. The backhander goes through Brodie, but right onto the stick of Ritchie, just missing a little high wide, and you get reaching with your stick up in there, and TJ Brodie on Anders Bjork takes the 2.
This power play brought to you by Stellara. Ask your doctor if Stellara is right for you. Buffalo 10th in the league on the power play. They had 3 on opening night against Montreal. 2 for their last 15 against the 7th best penalty kill in the NHL as the Leafs have killed 15 of their last 16.
Yeah, the key for the Leafs has been just really aggressive in every zone. You get an example of it here as Marner making it difficult for an easy entry even into the neutral zone.
Now it's played across for Thompson, fumbled, taken away by Marner, and he'll start back. He's got Jake Muzzin back for Marner, and in behind him, centered for Kemp. Back towards Marner, and they'll play keep away and reboot back at center.
You can tell when a unit's in sync. And then when you're going to pressure, everybody has to pressure together. It can't be one guy and then three not reacting, and here's a good example of controlling the puck.
Kasha cut down, and that shot stopped by Dell, and I think Andre Kasha felt the effects of that hit inside the line.
You know, special teams become such an integral part of success. In the last 8 games especially, this unit's just been so in sync. Just 1 goal against in the last 6, 93.8. And there's one thing you want to keep the power play is in their own zone. And here, Chris, 1:07 left and another defensive zone face-off for the power play.
Sheldon Keefe's special teams have been a big story in the Leaf November resurgence. Kasha stays out, so he's okay after taking that hit inside the line. Out comes Bryson onto the left side. Jurgensen spun down. Dylan Cousins will play it behind the net. Morgan Riley's there, and Liljegren off Kerfoot. And skips the stone down the ice into the Buffalo zone. Rasmus Dahlin was minus 40 last year. Bryson was even both playing on the blue line. So that, even though that plus minus doesn't tell you everything, that tells you something, doesn't it?
That's one that's hard to erase, isn't it? You know, so often they aren't necessarily representative of the play, but when they're that skewed, it's a problem.
So we talked about how the Leafs have turned their fortunes around, and from 26 to tied for second month over month, and the PK has improved dramatically as well.
Yeah, you know, you can get away at times with your power play not being in sync and maybe not getting you a goal or two, but if your penalty killing is porous, I mean, it just gets you out of games so often. I think part of the big resurgence for the Leafs during this November run has been they just don't give up much when they take a penalty.
Tage Thompson in the late stages of this first power play of the night. Brody getting set to return. Hall up the boards. Dahlin awaits. And Dahlin looks for Asplund. Back across. Penalty done as Marner broke up that pass for Skinner.
There's an example of Dahlin's patience, though, there. No, just calmness there under pressure. A little protect the puck to the outside. Made a good play out of a time where he was being pressured badly.
Now Matthews comes out after the kill along with Tavares. And Liljegren with a glove stop by Arundel as Timothy Liljegren looks for his first National Hockey League goal. The Leafs scored first tonight. Here's a look at Liljegren's chance here tonight on Hockey Night.
As Chris mentioned, Jacob Bryson growing up in London, he was steady in defending Connor McDavid 101 late in the game last night while protecting a lead, and like some teammates, finally able to have some family cross the border and come to games here in Buffalo. His parents, Dean and Nancy, made the drive down. They witnessed that last night and are here again tonight. A family affair at KeyBank Center tonight, Chris.
Imagine your son playing in the NHL. You have to wait 51 games to watch him play.
Yeah, that is unique, isn't it? It's like no other time for the young players just getting started.
There's Kasha back in. He spoke to the media prior to the game and talked about feeling so much better in the last 7 games, reminding everybody that he almost didn't play at all last year, and it took a while to get up to speed, but has been impressive of late. And it's elevated in the lineup. Wall does some stick handling at the side of the net with Drake Caggiula bearing down, and the Leafs move it ahead to center where Ritchie has the puck. Moving down that right flank, and the Leafs will start a change. Ritchie on the forecheck as Hag reverses it away from the forechecking winger. Tavares got a stick on that. Now Dylan Cousins has his stick lifted by Tavares, but back the other way, it's Hinostroza. And he tried to drop it off, and Mitch Marner is there. Tavares at center, and Now Jake Muzzin's got it. Popped over his stick. He'll get it back inside the line and flip it deep. There's Marner on it, a centering pass. Ritchie, robbed by Dell. That's a couple of Nick Ritchie chances tonight. That shot off the skate of Robert Haig, one of the block shot leaders in the league. With 32, he had 6 opening night against Montreal to make an early impression. But another chance for Ritchie. Back the other way, it's Anders Bjork who scored last night. Here's Bjork. In fact, Bjork with goals in each of the last 2 as the puck goes out of play.
Providing competitive odds on all sports, Sports Interaction is Canada's odds maker.
Nick Ritchie elevated up to a higher line. He had a good game in Philadelphia, got a nice assist on that one, had 2 glorious chances here. There's the best save for Aaron Dell as he's in all alone and can't get it up and over the blocker. 17 games since he scored. You know that he's anxious to put one in the back of the net, his first as a Maple Leaf.
Played in the same division as Buffalo last year with the Bruins and had 4 goals in 8 games, and that one will stick to Wall, and we'll have another face-off in the Toronto zone. So just under 6 minutes to go, first period. David Camp, the goal scorer on Hockey Night in Canada. Well, the Buffalo Sabres took over as an interim midway through last season. Now they head man, and just thought what a perfect guy to take a young team with all these prospects, because that's what he did for 3 years with the U.S. development program.
Boy, he laid the foundation for so many great players in the National Hockey League, and boy, wouldn't he love to have a team made up of those players right now.
Here's a chance of Wall with the stop off Kyle Opozo.
You know, for Granato, though, he understands he's got to be in a situation like a teacher, a guidance counselor, a mentor. You've got a lot of fragile guys who are trying to get either their game back to a level, or young guys trying to learn how to play it on a consistent level. I think he is the right personality to be able to handle that, and it's been a challenging job, but one that he takes with great pride and trying to keep this thing going. And last night's game was something to build off of, and those are the moments that you try to do your best teaching when things go well.
He had Austin Matthews for 2 years with that U.S. development program, and said he had to bite his tongue. He was asked so often about how good is this Austin Matthews kid, and he didn't want to put too much expectation on. Chance there, and scores, and Skinner has the goal that's tied the game.
Chris, right on cue, one of the players who's trying to get his game back to another level. You think of Skinner and some of the problems he's had and slumps that he's gone through, but it's the entry, get it down low and don't turn the puck over. Kyle Opozo back, and this is just one heck of a bounce that Joseph Wall doesn't read. You know, you don't have familiarity with a building. He's looking left, and great job of Skinner attacking that puck. He came on it quickly, got a quick release to try to beat the goaltender back, and Wall tried to get it with his stick. Skinner able to put that one in the back of the net for his 4th goal in 14 games.
Just 10 last year after signing a big contract following a 40-goal campaign, and the former Kitchener Ranger has got the Sabres even and energized that group. Morgan Riley feeds it ahead. Kerfoot unable to connect with Camp. Want to track it down deep in the zone is TJ Brody. There's Engvall trying to tie up Butcher. Kerfoot looks for it along the boards. It's played past him, and Asplin's out. Skinner kicks it back, and Robert Haig will move it in, and draw penalty. So the Sabres have tied it, and now they'll get their second power play of this opening frame.
And another example of just losing body positioning and getting the stick in. You saw TJ Brody on the game's first penalty for Toronto, and here a stop up and you reach behind, and twice there the stick of Engvall gets into the hands area, and that's going to be called every time.
So Buffalo goes to the power play. Chris Skinner's feeling good, or excuse me, Jeff Skinner's feeling good. There's the scoring pre-contract and afterwards. Half the scoring total. So he's trying to rediscover his shooting touch. 4 times a 30-goal man. And
Well, it was one of those contracts that, you know, at the time just seemed a little bit onerous, and now mentally you think, oh, I got to be a different guy than I am. You know, it's not like he was a 50-goal scorer there, 63 points as a rookie, a Calder winner, and right now you just got to get your confidence back. You got to forget about the past, eliminate the things that have gone wrong, and try to find a way to be positive and move on. And Johnny Granato trying to instill that in number 53.
Can't blow a draw. Leafs get it clear. And the Sabres on their second power play of the night. Bryson headbands the puck. That's Colin Miller over the line. Swings it around to the near side. The veteran Opozo. Back to Bryson. Knocked off the stick of Cousins. And Camp will steer it down on the backhand to get a Leaf change. Under 4 to go here in the opening period. Bryson over the line. That pass missed the target, and the Leafs will turn it back. Dell around. Ask what awaits.
Well, what's derailed the early power plays has been the entry, hasn't it? And Buffalo unable to sift their way through the neutral zone and get the setup they want. They've had to go through a lot of bodies to get there.
Here's Tage Thompson, a former World Junior teammate of Joseph Wall, testing him. Skinner's pass off a skate and out. Rasmus Dahlin finds Skinner on this right side. Backhand pass into the slot. Backhand blocked by Brody. Retrieved by Asplund. Now Hinostroza. Down low, quick pass in front. And that's blocked by Brody. A sprawling block, and the Leafs will clear.
What a great read by Brody. He knew either he wasn't going to be able to get his stick in there. So just committed, got down, nice little two-pad stack save with the block.
Came into the game with 20 block shots, and a number of them of the very important variety like that. So the Sabres get 2 shots, but are 0 for 2 on the night as Engvall's return to the ice. Wall up the boards. Colin Miller sends it toward the net. Marner will flip it on the backhand out to center. Shots now 10-5 in favor of Buffalo as John Heaton moves it back in. Around for Muzzin, up the boards for William Nylander on a 6-game point streak. Although a goal taken away last night, sure he's not complaining about the fact that everybody left the building thinking he had scored the tying goal, but it nicked the stick of Andre Kasha, who ended up getting credit with the goal. John Tavares is in. Colin Miller there defensively. Matthews tried to play it back, intercepted by Cousins. And away goes Kajula, the former Scoville Spirit. That shot by Hinostroza stop. The rebound bounced in front. Cousins beats the line. Robert Haig right on. And the rebound off the stick of Liljegren, and Matthews will clear.
A good stick by Liljegren there because Cousins might have been able to get that rebound and get a shot on goal.
And Wall will hold on to that with Kajula on the doorstep. Sort of is the kind of funny but sort of sad news show that everyone's talking about. Don't miss Sort of Tuesday at 9 on CBC and CBC Gym.
So much of penalty killing is taking away passing lanes, and if you can't get the passing lane like Brody wasn't there, it's that kind of effort. Just a good job of reacting very quickly and taking that one away, and then Liljegren with the good stick there didn't allow Cousins to get a second chance as well.
Well, the Leafs have a first period goal, but it's another one of those slow starting games, isn't it? But a lucky break on the Camp goal. They've had to kill 2 penalties, and they're offside at the Buffalo line.
I think that's one of the reasons for Sheldon Keefe to do the shuffle here. You know, you came back, you lost 1 game in the midst of a 5-game winning streak, and you followed up with 2 big wins, 3 games in 4 nights where you haven't really been lighting the score sheet. Been really happy at the defensive game and the fact that they've been able to play close games. I think he came in here with the mindset, let's shuffle things up and maybe you can spur some offense throughout the lineup and get off to a quick start. Well, the Sabres have hung in there after that early goal, and they're back to another tight game again.
Final minute of this first period. Buffalo rolls it down the ice. Not going to be enough for Asik. Leafs 5-1 in November, 5-1 against Atlantic Division opponents. Bunting tried to one-hand that in front. He'll get it back. Semyonov to the front of the net, knocked away, and out comes Mark Pysyk. And it's Asplund across Skinner. And maybe one too many passes. Dahlin follows up. There's Dahlin across, and that failed to make contact, and it's flipped away.
Yeah, I think if Skinner could have that one back, you got to make an attempt, make a shot. Is trying to overpass. The pass was kind of rolling and in his skates, so got to try to get control of it. Did this 3 Maple Leafs get caught deep? You've got an odd man rush. A nice pass there by Asplund, but no shot made, and then a good defensive effort of collapsing back to the middle to clear the zone by the Leaf defenders.
Colin Miller. Now Opozo off the boards, and Jake Muzzin there as they jam in front of the penalty box, and comes loose for Girgensons. 9 seconds of the period. Hall will play it to Muzzin. That's going to do it. 13-5, the shots on goal in favor of Buffalo. 12 stops for Joseph Woll. David Kampf opened the scoring, but Jeff Skinner tied it. So we're done 1-1 the score to the point in our first intermission. Coming up.
Talk to Craig later. To the point, first intermission with Jennifer Bottrell. Craig McTavish is in tonight. Elliott and Kelly are off this week, and there's Kevin Bieksa. And, last week we were all agog over Connor McDavid waltzing the New York Rangers, and this week Connor's in the news again, and it has to do with how the NHL is going to call penalties on a superstar like Connor McDavid. And there was a trip in the Tuesday Detroit game, so we'll show you the trip. And following the game, Dave Tippett, the head coach of the Oilers, was prompted to say, did you see the trip that wasn't called?
Do you think? Yeah. Did you see that up there too? I saw that on the bench too. I just didn't know if anybody else saw it.
I mean, how do you guys respond? I mean, listen, it seems to be common.
It's frustrating. You know what? It's frustrating because the tone is set on the first call of the game on Draisaitl, which shouldn't be a call. But if you're going to set the tone like that, you better call the rest of the game like that. And that's not the way it went.
Craig, you were working that night and through the week with the Oilers on the road, so what are your thoughts?
Well, I just think it's the flagrant calls that are missed, and they're missed against the best player in the league, and they should be called. And yet, jokingly, I'm thinking the referees are thinking that this guy is so good that he doesn't need the advantage, and they're not giving him the advantage. And the other part of that is the Oiler power play was working at 50%, or very close to 50%, so every call against them, they have to be sure, because it's effectively half a goal.
That's the problem, though, because he's so great that the rules should be more relaxed for him. That doesn't really seem to make sense. But he does have the capacity to fight through some of the hooking or the potential trips and still gets up and makes a play because he's so talented. I mean, not only he's agile, he's strong, he's quick, but he's so smart that he finds a way to still make plays. But again, the same rules should apply, and for a player, of course, the frustration is going to build for you in those situations if the game isn't being called the way that it should be, even though he's high skilled.
Greatness should be hard to achieve, right? So I'm not for rewriting the rule book like some people have been talking about, but certainly the rule book should be enforced. And that penalty on Seider, that was a blatant trip. So you definitely can't make the game easier for Connor McDavid, because nobody made the game easier for Wayne Gretzky. Nobody made the game easier for Bo Jackson, Michael Jordan. You have to fight through some of that, so to speak. But we had a pack of penalties. And are we going to get to that? Because some of these are obvious penalties. Doesn't matter who it is. And those certainly should be called. Doesn't matter if it's Connor McDavid or Brad Marchand or anybody. This one I'm okay with. This one right here, and this is the problem with McDavid. Because he's so dynamic and he's so good offensively, teams have to team check him, which means one guy is usually engaged with him and then another guy comes in, and we'll see a couple times, like right here, it's actually the other guy's stick that gets in there and trips him. So very hard for the referees to pick up on, because they're looking at this initial confrontation, but it's actually the stick from the second guy that's team checking him. And somebody has to watch this because those are all penalties right there, besides the Marchand one.
It's the situation in a lot of these instances, too, because the Oilers are down in all these games, and who's got to get them back to win the hockey game is Connor McDavid. And he's working so hard and driving the net, and then he gets tripped. So to Jen's point, it just magnifies the frustration level that McDavid feels. And I think as a superstar player, you really have to manage your relationship with the officials. Like, you can be frustrated, but you have to go back and you have to console the officials. Ron tells me that refs are people too.
Yeah.
So
well, that was great what we just saw.
Yeah.
That was a decent, great exchange with a referee.
Yes, and that's how you get the calls down the road when you manage that relationship with the officials.
But it has to be hard because when you're playing at such a high level with the intensity and the competitiveness that these guys have, you know, yes, you want to maintain a good relationship with the referees, and we've talked about that. We said in Toronto they often have the names of the referee on the whiteboard. I saw at ice level against Minnesota, they have the names of the referees on the bench, taped on the bench, so the guys can communicate with the referees during the game. But when it's consistently not called for you, couldn't you understand the frustration that McDavid feels in that game? Yes, you want to be civilized and maintain a relationship with these refs, but if night after night you're not getting the calls and you constantly have to fight through it, you can see how the frustration would build over time for him.
The thing that's amazing was, what is he, 206th in the league in drawing penalties with how many times he has the puck and there's guys all over him? That should change a little bit. But onus is a little bit on Connor, and somebody in that organization has to say, you have to massage the referees a little bit more. You have to go up to them before the game and have a relationship before a yelling or a lashing out. And then maybe he'll get a few more of those calls against, but certainly guys are hanging all over him at certain
Well, you
points.
said you had veteran leadership show you how to do that.
By leading by example and watching how they interacted, and I had a really, and I know it's hard for you to believe, but I had a tough relationship, especially with the linesmen early in my career. When they would come and break up fights, I'd throw a couple little shots to the body and make it look like I was trying to hit my opponent, but I was really trying to hit the linesman, right? But after a while,
I wouldn't admit that.
you have some good conversations. You get to know them as people. One of my best friends now is a linesman in the league, and now you get away with like icing calls and you get away with a lot of stuff because they are people, like you said.
And this frustration is building from last year in the playoffs when similar missed calls were occurring for Connor. So I don't want anybody to think that this guy's a whiner, because he's not. He's not a complainer. He's not a diver. One thing for sure, through the course of his career, he's earned the respect. We should have the respect. And I feel like at times that he would feel that he's not getting the respect that he deserves.
When I say Kevin Lowe, going to the Hall, what do you say?
Well, there are so many things outside of goals and assists that matter in the game of hockey, especially winning. And Kevin didn't define himself by goals and assists. He defined himself by Stanley Cups. He had 6 Stanley Cups. He was unbelievable in the defensive zone. He was a great leader. He recognized very early on that Paul Coffey had the other end of the net covered off. So his greatest impact, and that's what he always worried about, was his greatest impact for the performance level of the team was going to be in the other end.
Kim St. Pierre.
Kim St. Pierre, a friend and a teammate. I've been chatting with her over the last couple days. It was an honor to play with her. And you talk about being a competitor. She carried the team, and she said one of her favorite memories as she goes through this Hall of Fame experience was our 2002 gold medal for Canada. Through the adversity, she stood on her head, carried the team, but in every situation was the ultimate teammate.
Ginla was a warrior, very tough to play against, played a lot against him. Hossa, super strong, super fast, underrated skill, both very, very tough guys to play against.
Our congrats to the class of 20 being inducted on Monday night. Thanks, you three. We'll take a short break, continue our coverage of 4 early games tonight on Hockey Night in Canada. Hockey associations providing financial assistance to families in need. This year they're back. Kruger is committing $200,000 in financial assistance to associations all across the country. They believe every assist counts. Want to ensure no kids' hockey dreams have to miss a season. It's just fantastic. Nominate a local hockey association today at KrugerBigAssist.ca. Now to a big goal. Did you see last night, Canada versus Costa Rica? Jonathan David with this nice finish. They had just a moment earlier hit the crossbar with an incredible scissor kick, and then David delivers the game-winning goal. Marner's quite the soccer player, evidently. That's last night with the kick pass over to Austin Matthews, and he's at it again with fancy footwork here this evening. You never get enough skill from Mitchell Marner. Take a short break and continue our coverage with the second periods on Hockey Night in Canada.
Years of greatness. When Jennerette first started calling Sabres games, this is his final season. There he is in the booth, has the call here tonight. Surely he's talked a lot about Dylan Cozens, amongst others. And when Cozens was 10 years old, grew up in Whitehorse, his minor hockey coach, Martin Laurie, asked each player to write a letter about what their goals were in hockey. And so Dylan wrote he wants to be in the WHL when he was 16 and the NHL by 20. He was going to get there by training hard, shooting and stick handling every day. Well, he played in the dub at 15 and made his NHL debut at 19, so he's surpassed even his own expectations and has continued to flourish here with the Sabres this season. Chris?
And you know, he'll proudly save the goal calls of Rick Jennerette when Dylan Cozens scores for Buffalo. Privileged to be in the booth beside Rick, and isn't that remarkable? Every year but the first as the voice of the Buffalo Sabres.
And every player whose sweater number is up in the rafters here in Buffalo, he had the ability to call him, and he had some amazing calls, didn't he? That Mayday probably still
Mayday might be my favorite call of any goal in the NHL, and of course the French Connection, the whole line getting their banners grouped together.
Yeah, the number 14 behind both nets, of course. You lost a great alumnus in Rennie Robert this last year.
Boy, there was some magic with Perreault, Robert, and Martin. In fact, on this date, back in 1983, Sabres won a game 11-2 against Calgary. Perreault with a hat trick, Mike Foligno a hat trick, and Austin Matthews looking for a goal there as he whipped it wide. By the way, no shots for any of the core four of Toronto in that first period. A quiet opening frame, outshot 13-5. And the shot attempts 22-8. So the Leafs looking to be better here in the second. And Sheldon Keefe sticking with the revamped lines here, at least to start the second. That means Ritchie's out there with Marner and Tavares. And out through center, the Buffalo scorer, Skinner, over the line. Checked by Tavares. He'll send Ritchie back to the attack. Here's Ritchie trying to cut in. Lost an edge. And played out to center by Asplund. Nick Ritchie's got it to the left wing side. Rink wide for Tavares. And now Dahlin skates away from Tavares. And plays it back to Mark Pysyk. And I'm sure Leaf fans remember the night Mark Pysyk had a hat trick against Toronto.
Yeah, pretty special time. One, you mentioned Matthews with the quick shot, and he jumps out there as soon as the icing's happening. This is a building that he's had so much success in, and a team that he's been able to score on at will. 11 goals in the 15 games, and here in the second period, as soon as you get that icing, this is where Sheldon Keefe tries to take advantage, gets the Matthews line right back out, even though they were the line before the Tavares line.
8 shots, 13 shot attempts for Matthews last night. In 6 of the 12 games he has played, he's had at least a half dozen shots. As he flips it in wide of the net, and Aaron Dell will sweep it away from Nylander. Matthews got on it, feeds the point for Riley. Just one goal for a Leaf defenseman so far this year. Nylander tried to duck under big Tage Thompson, the biggest forward in the NHL at 6'7". And Buffalo will play it into the benches and get a face-off back in the Sabre zone.
Well, you look at William Nylander, his name has been at the top of the list production-wise for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Coming into the season, so much talk about ice time. Look at last year, just 16:36. That extra ice time has added to extra production. And so you know, you look at the coach, and the coach has been pretty vocal about saying, I can see more out of Nylander's game, but Nylander off to his hottest start, and already looking to better his 31 goals as a career high.
Off that face-off win, Brody to Kerfoot. Trying to get it back to Brody. That was broken up by Oposo, and out come the Sabres. Cody Eakin, the former Swift Current Bronco, will dump it in. Liljegren with a slick pass, and that springs Kerfoot to the attack. Here's Kerfoot over the line. 3 Leafs invading, and Kerfoot got the shot away. Rebound collected and fed back to Liljegren. Now Kerfoot, Liljegren firing right on. No stick for Arundel. Sabres trying to clear it here. David Camp at the line, and it does pop out.
You saw Justin Hall slide down there too. He was the guy down low trying to get that rebound, but without the stick, it bounced off the pads of Dell out away from traffic.
Egg played that in the middle, just out of the reach of Semyonov. Jake Muzzin one hands it ahead. Spezza's pass for Bunting doesn't work. Semyonov trying to get it back. Bumping there along with Anders York. Justin Hall trying to speed away from the forechecking of Ruotsalainen. Up for Spezza. His pass broken up by Hayden. Muzzin now hit the Semyonov, spun it back, and the Leafs are in. Bunting, Spezza, and that's out of the reach of Muzzin, and they'll have to recalibrate back at center. Along the boards, Semyonov was knocked down, and Liljegren for Tavares, who's just jumped on, and now back for Liljegren in his own zone. Mitch Marner at center. Here comes Tavares. John Tavares swooping in, a centering pass off the stick of Bryson, and back comes Buffalo. It's Cousins over the line, and that pass rejected. Hinostroza follows. Vinny Hinostroza, the Chicago native, gets it back to the line. And that shot flagged down by Joseph Wall. Looking for your favorite show, movie, or documentary? Find it on CBC Gem and start streaming for free.
Well, Wall's been able to be the busier of the two goaltenders and has settled in. I think the one thing when you look at his puck handling, it's been a little bit dicey behind. And, you know, one of the things a defenseman can do to a young goaltender is say, don't worry about it, we got it. Don't go in there and make things more difficult. He made a difficult play for Hall the shift before, trying to play it and then getting out of the way.
Morgan Riley back to Brody up the boards, and there's Andre Kasha. His pass off Thompson's stick, and Asplund dashes back in after it. Skinner from the corner working his way out, and a shot right on. Loose in front, Kasha, and now cleared away by Nylander, who flips it down the ice into the Buffalo zone. Leafs haven't had much going offensively. The big guns are out right now, and a pass that'll slide all the way back into the Toronto zone. Sabres changing, and now the Leafs in turn as well. Engvall down that right wing into the middle. Kerfoot, Dell with a stop on that. Nice rush chance, and back the other way comes Eakin. Cody Eakin over the line. The late man, the shot knocked down in front, and the Leafs able to clear it after Pesic's shot didn't get through. Here's Dahlin. Kyle Oposo assisted on the Sabre goal. Cody Eakin knocked down there by Hall. Dahlin across. Pesic returns it, and Dahlin lost the handle. Oposo along the boards, watched by Kerfoot. And now it's played by Girgensons around to the far side. Muzzin up the boards. And Semyonov flips it ahead, but into the Buffalo bench.
A 1-1 game early in the second. A couple of good chances at both ends. Goaltender strong. Skinner with a nice move, tried to go short side. Hall able to shut the door on that one, and then a great pass to the middle and a good glove save by Arundel.
Matthews, drafted here in Buffalo, has had some good moments against the Sabres. As Craig mentioned, 11 goals, 15 career games against Buffalo, some of them all over the highlight reels. Leafs 10-5 against the Sabres since Matthews came into the league. He said before the game, this building always will hold a special place in his heart. Still looking for his first shot on goal tonight, however, Chris.
Had one shot wide. In fact, still no shots for the core four. They've had 2 shot attempts so far in the first 26 minutes.
I always wonder what the impact of the coach juggling the lines a little bit when you're starting to get some chemistry. So we'll see how long Sheldon Keefe keeps with the matchups he has.
Matthews with a dramatic overtime goal here in 2018. Last win for the Maple Leafs in this building was almost a sweep for the core four. 3 of the 4 scored. Matthews, Marner, and Tavares. Nylander scored as well. It was Alex Nylander for Buffalo. There's a pass on the right side. Gets away from Thompson. Wall out to play it again. Quickly to Liljegren. And an errant pass just slides out to center. Nick Ritchie sweeps it across to this right wing. Skated on to by Marner. Curls in the zone. Marner down low. Tavares takes a look. Pass rejected by Butcher. Tavares and Ritchie now work the inboards. Morgan Riley knocked off the puck by Asplund. And Asplund out at center, slowed up by Tavares, who takes it back. Flips it over the line. Here's Kasha fanning. Reloading, scores! Andre Kasha! Let it fly, and the Leafs have the lead, and Kasha has goals in 3 straight.
Well, great recovery by Kasha as he's looking up trying to get his first shot away. He totally whiffs on it. The battle's won in the neutral zone. Tavares gets it to the middle. Good patience there, and he totally misses that one, but then reloads, and he's got Dell down and committed early. Will Butcher not quite there enough with his stick, and that's a perfect shot. You've got the goaltender down. You've only got the top area over his shoulder, and that's a pretty good recovery. You know that you're a little shocked as a shooter when you go to shoot it and you end up taking air, but that reload was a perfectly placed shot to make it 2-1.
Little double clutch and a go-ahead goal for Andre Kasha. And again, prior to the game, talked about feeling like he's getting in a rhythm again after missing all but 3 games last year as a member of the Boston Bruins.
You remember instincts. He's a 20-goal scorer in his career.
That shot just went wide from long range from Colin Miller, and Kasha hits north again. Here comes Kasha over the line. William Nylander into the middle. Got it back again and fires. And Dell able to shrug that away. Good stop by Dell on Nylander's first chance of the game. Leafs up the tempo now. Austin Matthews has it. He'll reverse it down low for Nylander. And there is Semyonov out there looking for a loose puck as Miller steers it away. Leafs completing a change with Spezza now. Checks in. Trying to take it away from Miller. It does. Here's back it goes. Muzzin shooting. Loose in front. Scores! Michael Bunting bumps a slump. And the Leafs get 2 in a row and a 3-1 lead.
Well, there's mission accomplished for Sheldon Keefe. The shuffle. Michael Bunting's been the one guy in that core 4 who hasn't really been able to contribute point-wise. He's been frustrated, hasn't scored in 6, hasn't had points in 5, but this is just hard work play. A great play by Spezza, drew a penalty, a delayed call there, and then here's a fortunate bounce. The shot never got through from Muzzin, gets deflected, but look at Bunting. He's ready, and Colin Miller unable to react quickly. No chance for Dell, and that look says it all. The frustration for Bunting. Thought he's been playing really well, been digging hard and contributing as much as he can without putting points on the board. So there's a goal that makes him look skyward.
Yeah, he was reflecting that they just were not dropping, but that one does. Leafs scored 2 in 70 seconds and suddenly have a 3-1 lead. Back come the Sabres. Over the line, Ritsalainen fired it high. Dahlin sends it around. Ritsalainen after it against Travis Dermott. David Camp in support defensively. Leafs get goals at 7:18 and 8:28. So it's Camp, Kasha, and Bunting as the 8 mates start to contribute offensively.
That was really the whole design of these shuffle up, is to try to see if you can spark another look, get somebody else other than the 4 guys who had been scoring, and here early on it's worked out well. A bit of a slow start to it, but a good explosive minute and a half there.
Ritchie takes a look. That was Haig moving down that right flank to seal the boards, and Buffalo got on it. Back at the line, Butcher's shot weak and wide, and it's TJ Brody. Like Opozo got dazed on a hit behind the net. Here's Butcher on the move. His shot blocked. Gets it back, but lost his footing, and Marner nearly got away. Good recovery by Butcher. Now back in comes Opozo. His shot misses the target. Around for Haig. Opozo unable to knock that down. A response here by the Sabres, who suddenly find themselves down by a pair. Kept alive here by Asplund. At the line it goes, and shot wired high off the end glass by Cody Eakin. Not sure Wall saw any of that through all the traffic, and an icy call against Toronto. We'll get the athlete's real story on the Players Own Voice podcast, hosted by Anastasia Biusis. Find it on CBC Listen or wherever you get your podcasts.
You got a minute 21 for this fivesome on the ice for the Toronto Maple Leafs, so Marner trying to buy as much time, and Tavares taking the one warning to get a little bit more time for rest.
So the Leafs win that draw. Colin Miller at the right point. Wraps it around to the near side. Here comes Bryson. Bryson trying to center. Match up with 78s, Brody and Bryson. Couple of Southwestern Ontario guys. And now Morgan Riley, an outlet for Ritchie. Bryson stepped up on him. And that's flipped into the Sabre bench, and now the Leafs get to finish the change. And we will step aside. Leafs with a pair of second period goals. First Kasha, then Bunting, both their 4th of the year. 3-1 Toronto.
Goal in 16 games as a Maple Leaf, and in this last 5, 6, 7 games, he's had lots of chances around the net. He's been really effective at getting in on the forecheck, helping his line mates. The chances he's had to score have been frustrating, but there, right on the doorstep, great reaction. A bouncing puck, and he's able to put it in the back of the net to make this a 3-1 game.
Now Nylander charges after a puck in the Buffalo zone. Kasha there as well, but it comes loose for Colin Miller. Mentioned a Sioux native, also a former Greyhound who played for Sheldon Keefe. Matthews to the far side, Muzzin's on the move. Here's Nick Muzzin dropping it off for Kasha. Back to Hall. Justin Hall steers it around to the far side again, and that got past Nylander and out, and here's a break. It's a chance here for, and Wall got a piece of it as the stick broke on Hinostroza. And Hinostroza tossed the debris down in disgust. This one taken away by Opozo. That nearly happened last night for Austin Matthews, who had a breakaway and realized that the stick had been cracked. And kind of lost his confidence going into on the breakaway, but made amends shortly thereafter. Cody Eakin drops it off. So we'll see if Hinostroza gets another opportunity. Martin Pesek and David Camp trying to tie him up. It'll be worked loose by Kerfoot. Liljegren fanned, and away go the Sabres once again. Gergensen's with Opozo, and now Opozo cuts in. Kyle Opozo around the net, and he couldn't get a shot away after splitting the defense. Dangerous dash by Kyle Opozo. And Opozo comes up with it again. Leafs not out of trouble yet. At the point, the shot, and that goes high off the stick of Haig. Engvall moves it ahead, and now out at center. Camp unable to connect with Engvall, and Buffalo will regroup. Shots now 13-11. Sabres with under 7 minutes remaining here in the second period. Liljegren up at center off the stick of Spezza. And after goes Semyonov along with Bunting. Put away with the puck. Comes Anders Bjork. Chips and chases against Riley. Knocks it to the near side for Arttu Ruotsalainen. Dahlin's shot whipped wide. Messick moves up and it played past him out to center, but Ruotsalainen got back to back up his blue liner. Up for Hayden as Asplund was jumping onto the ice, and Jason Spezza trying to encourage too many men on the ice penalty. Michael Bunting ahead. Tavares over the line. Whips that high. And it goes past Spezza down the ice. Justin Hall with Tage Thompson trying to tie him up. Marner gets bumped by Big Thompson. And now Muzzin looks up ice. Got Marner on the move. Ritchie going to the net. Tavares has the puck. Got Tavares, and he tried to go short side on Dell. Marner looking to take it away from Bryson. Bryson moves it ahead, but not out. Kept in for Ritchie, and that goes off the stick of Miller and up onto the netting.
Well, quite a night for Joseph Woll in his first game, and he's had to come up with some good plays in front. Nice job, though. Look at the battle of Hall getting in and helping his goaltender, getting a piece of that one. At the other way, Oposo gets in all alone, unable to get anything on that one side to side.
So far, not unlike one of those life hack videos from Cabby Lame on TikTok. The struggles early on as the losses piled up, many wondering why things seem to be so complicated offensively. Now the goals are going in, the top guys doing the heavy lifting, looking much more like the team they expected to be, as if it was that simple, but it's the supporting cast providing the offense here tonight so far.
Has been the story. Camp, Kasha, and Bunting, the goal scorers tonight for the Maple Leafs. 2 in 70 seconds here in the second period to provide a 2-goal lead.
Well, if you have a Leafs wish list now, it's to get a defenseman with a goal. Only one goal, and that's from Jake Muzzin, October 30th.
Ottawa, the Islanders, Los Angeles. Here's Eakin, and that went off the shoulder of Woll. Close call. Cody Eakins had a couple looks. Kasha lost his footing at center and able to still flip it down on Dell. Along the boards where Liljegren holds the zone. Bryson across, and Miller plays it back inside the Leaf line. Travis Dermott and Timothy Liljegren steady tonight on the back line. Kerfoot into Buffalo ice. Tied up by Bryson. And the battle continues, and it's fished out of there by Camp. Centering play, and that was denied by Ruotsalainen. Up ahead it goes for Bjork. Fourth line for the Sabres. They have 13 goals from their bottom 6 so far this year. So they've spread their scoring. Actually came into the game with the exact same number of goals as the Leafs, with 38. Three and a half to go as Riley sends away Semyonov. Semyonov bounced along the boards, fed back to Brody. His shot rejected by Skinner. Tage Thompson trying to string Skinner and Asplund. Here's Skinner shooting, and that one doesn't get through. Asplund behind the net, back to Dahlin. His shot got through right on the logo and held by Woll.
Well, 2-goal lead, one thing that will be mentioned on the Leaf bench time and again is protect the puck. Don't give any easy offense, and a simple play here becomes a turnover, goes back the other way. No look pass into the middle of the ice, sends in Eakin, but good positioning there by Woll. Another chance from Skinner, and this is helping your goaltender out there, as Morgan Riley knew he was in no man's land. Couldn't get the stick in there to stop the shot, but did a great job of taking away the shooting lane and not allowing that one to get to his young goaltender.
Wall's been up a while with the Leafs, just 3 games in the American League, 2-1. But has looked sharp here tonight so far. Spezza sends it down the ice, and this is going to be icing Toronto.
You know, so much has been made of Toronto's success lately. When they haven't been scoring, they've been able to win some big games. I mean, they've already won 3 games when they've scored 2 goals, 4 or less. Chris, last year only 4 times in the 56 games were they able to do that. And you know, that's sort of the focus on the defensive part, and you think that the offense will find its way to get back on track, which it has.
Think about the way they... Well, first, a chance in front for Thompson. That's sent back to the line. Pesic across for Dahlin. Tage Thompson trying to give it back to Dahlin, who ventures in deep. Around for Martin Pesic, the former Edmonton Oil King. And Muzzin had it, lost it to Pesic. Sabres get it back, scores! Tage Thompson with a blast beats his old teammate, Joseph Wall, and Buffalo's within 1.
What a rocket that was. It was the hard work in the corner by Skinner to keep the play alive, and Thompson read it perfectly. You said the 6'7" frame. Here's the work down low. Watch him back up. He's right in the wheelhouse, and he just gets that bottom hand down. And as a right-handed shot, look at the left side of the net, how much there is there through traffic, through the legs of Semyonov, and that one's just a rocket past Joseph Wall.
Another one of those St. Louis guys drafted in 2016. Tage Thompson, the number 26 pick. First rounder along with Austin Matthews. Joseph Wall went in the 3rd round, and Thompson has his 5th of the season in what looks like it's going to be a breakout year for him. Mitch Marner, Timothy Liljegren. Well, that shot off a stick and out of play.
Oh, a great read there by Drake Caggiula as Liljegren had to get that puck, transfer it back, and good cycle down low. As soon as he gets it here, he's got to set it up, and so that extra 1.5 delay is all it takes for Caggiula to get his stick in there and not allow Liljegren to get that to the net.
So down to 2:05 remaining in the period. Tavares on the draw. Tavares an assist on a goal here in the period. Marner's shot. Tavares trying to find it in the slot, and it will come back to the line. Marner's up high. Now Tavares trying to scoop it for Ritchie, and Colin Miller was there. Now Pozo working his way out. Too far on the return pass. And up ahead for Ritchie, off him deep. Bryson taps it, and Colin Miller pushes it ahead, and on the move is Zemgus Girgensons, who will play for Latvia in the Olympic Games in Beijing. Girgensons along the boards, and it comes loose. Pozo in support, surrounded by Riley and Brody, who takes it away. TJ Brody off the boards ahead to Nylander. Now Matthews unable to take it, but Riley moves up. Matthews! And a glove stop by Dell. Best chance of the night for Matthews. Best save of the night for Aaron Dell.
Oh, was it ever. Matthews absolutely unloaded on this. And, you know, this is one of those plays where I think Matthews here, puck's bouncing, and the defender, Pesic, just didn't get it, allowed it to go right by him, and a great setup there by Morgan Riley. Look at the bouncing puck, a little hesitation, now it's in the wheelhouse, and he drilled this one, but Dell came out aggressively, had the glove, and was able to snatch that one out of thin air.
So in the final minute of this second period, Matthews on it, Nylander's pass broken up, and Skinner's away. A goal and an assist. He's figured in on both. Pass for Asplund, and Nylander comes back defensively. Up ahead it goes, and Kasha sends it to Matthews. They go to work. 2-on-2. Muzzin's jumped up, and look out. It's turned over, and Tage Thompson's back. along with Skinner and Asplund. And Wall's going to club that and hold on.
Well, Tage Thompson, it continues. He had 8 goals last year. He's got 5 already. And as he backs up, he's in a standstill, actually going backwards, still got it at 84 miles an hour. And sometimes it's the velocity of the shot, sometimes it's the positioning. I think that was a great combination of both. He saw that he had some open net to the left side, and he was able to deposit it exactly where he wanted to.
3rd goal in 5 games for Thompson. Here's Engvall to the line, but lost the puck and bounced back into the Leaf zone. 20 seconds remaining in the period. Out comes Kachuk. Riley will scoop it in. Darlene after it. Now he'll leave it for Pesic. The clock drains to end the second. Through 2 here in Buffalo. 32 thoughts coming up in our second intermission. Kasha and Bunting a minute 10 apart gave the Leafs a 3-1 lead. Thompson scores for the Sabres 3-2 after 2.
"32 Thoughts" is presented by GMC with Jeff Merrick. Elliot Friedman's away tonight. Jeff, you never have a night off. And Kevin Bieksa wants to do Rogers hometown hockey, so he's bidding for your way.
Worried about getting punched in the ribs from Kevin.
Wasn't that
hitting
funny?
linesmen, right?
Awful. I don't know how to react to that. But listen, 2 teams have reached a point of no return. Where do we start? Vancouver.
We'll start with the Vancouver Canucks. And as you well know, it's tough to do this job and not get a sense of what Elliot would refer to as foreboding in the Vancouver Canucks market right now. They'll face off against Vegas a little bit later on. Early this week, they lose 7-1 to the Colorado Avalanche. That's a really tough loss. 7th in the Pacific. The general manager went all in on the offseason, and they're not getting the return that they expected. Now, Francesco Aquilini is on the road trip this weekend. Tonight it's Vegas, tomorrow it's Anaheim. So the owner is on the trip, and before anybody runs wild with this one, Ron, this was pre-planned. This isn't just the owner showing up at the last minute to have a peek at what's under the hood here. But fans in Vancouver are upset. And one person I talked to there today said, the one concern you always have is when the anger turns into apathy. That's when you're in trouble, and it almost feels in Vancouver like they're almost there. Again, the owner is there this weekend. The Vancouver Canucks cannot afford to have 2 bad performances, one to Vegas and one to Anaheim, who's won 6 games in a row. They're playing really good in front of Francesco Aquilini. Jim Benning is on the last year of his contract run. Travis Green, the head coach, has 1 more year remaining.
And Dallas is up in smoke right now, too.
Although they're winning against the Philadelphia Flyers right now, 1-0. Yeah, it's tough in Dallas right now, and this was another challenging week. The Dallas Stars are the 2nd oldest team in the NHL. The Islanders are the only older team than them. Now, interesting about the Dallas Stars, they're the only team in the NHL that doesn't have a regulation win. All their points have come from either the shootout or from the overtime, and they brought in Ryan Suter to play defense. The owner expects playoffs. They lost to Nashville on Wednesday. They had a players-only meeting. And after the game as well, Rick Bowness delivered a very short, very terse 29-second press conference where he said, "We know what's wrong with this team, and we're going to fix it." Now, John Stevens, for the first time since he joined the Dallas Stars, assistant coach, is not on the bench. He's been sent to coach upstairs. A couple of days ago, Jim Nill waived Blake Como and Tanner Kiro and sent Thomas Harley back to AHL Texas. They've freed up some cap space. If they lose to the Philadelphia Flyers tonight, we wonder if the loyalty, and Jim Nill, as you well know, Ron, is a very loyal general manager, will be tested through all of it.
What's your sense, Jeff? John Stevens going upstairs to have a different perspective, or is there a personality rift?
I can't help but wonder if it's a conflict with someone there, or maybe that's just Rick Bowness and Jim Nill saying we need to shake things up on this bench. We haven't done anything with personnel. Maybe the first move in redefining this team is to do something with one of the assistant coaches.
What's the latest on Jack Eichel?
Okay, so Jack Eichel had the ADR surgery on Friday. Took about an hour, maybe an hour and 15. He was up and walking afterwards. Dr. Chad Prusmack did the surgery at the Rocky Mountain Spine Clinic in Denver. Again, he was up and feeling great after. He did rehab today. He'll do rehab tomorrow and Monday as well. Then he'll fly to Carolina. He'll be under the care of Dr. Mark Lindsay. You might know that name. He helped Connor McDavid with his knee injury. He'll be with Dr. Lindsay for the next 3 weeks, and the team is still hoping to have Jack Eichel back in the next 3 months.
Mark was unbelievable with Donovan in 1996 in Atlanta, too. Donovan Bailey, of course. And lastly, a lovely word for Kevin Hayes.
Okay, so we've said this before. You don't have to cheer for a team, but you can still cheer for a player as well. In a lot of ways, we're cheering for Kevin Hayes, who makes his return to the Philadelphia Flyers lineup tonight after being off having abdominal surgery. That goes back to September 21st. But more importantly, it's his first game back since the passing of his brother Jimmy a couple of months ago. Listen, that shocked and saddened all of us, and we can all still remember how Kevin spoke about his brother at his funeral. And tonight, Ron, we are all cheering for Kevin Hayes of the Philadelphia Flyers.
Great, Jeff. Short break. We'll come back with Kevin Bieksa, Jennifer Bottrell, Craig McTavish. Hockey Night in Canada's coverage of the first 40 minutes of our 4 early games continues. Cup's about to drop the puck on its 6th season, and this year our theme is inclusivity. This is a shift, change, an opportunity to rally not just teams but communities, to provide the opportunity for more and to recognize those folks who go above and beyond. Last year, the Victoria Admirals from Victoria pitched the Winning Good Deeds idea. We had to do ideas rather than deeds because of COVID. They came up with a fantastic, and they won $100,000. That prize money went to the Children's Health Foundation of Vancouver Island to support kids with physical and mental impairments to get the specialized equipment that they need to thrive. If you'd like to participate this year and rally your under 11, under 13, or under 15 hockey team, you can decide on the best good deed and help make the sport that we all love more inclusive in your community. All participating teams get a chance to win $100,000. It's a registered charity of your choice that makes a difference in the game and your community. Head to ChevroletGoodDeedsCup.ca for more. Andre Kasha, you nailed it, Kevin. I hate to say it.
Once in a while, right? Just close your eyes and throw the dart. But Kasha's getting his opportunity to play on the right wing with Matthews and Nylander, and he's already played 12 minutes, and that's usually what he averages in a game. That's just a beautiful short side goal. He's been creating and generating things all night long. Like, he kind of fans on the first one but stays with it, shows off his skill set. He's got a great shot. He's energetic. He's making a few more plays, and he's trying to make some more offensive plays than he normally does. He had the one turnover in the blue line. Probably don't do that when you're on the third line, but when you get to play with the big boys, get a little longer leash, and he's making the best of it.
And just the same, Craig, you called it in the pre-show that Ottawa would be like a team with a wounded paw, and they're just fantastic against Pittsburgh.
Yeah, they are. They're playing really well. Things are going very bad for Pittsburgh and Ottawa tonight. Ottawa was really all over them in the second period. It starts with Zach Stanford, who collects a rebound there, puts it in, and then he has a wonderful screen on Del Zotto's point shot. And then they follow it up with one more to make it 3-0 as Tim Stützle gets his first goal of the year.
Definitely could see it in Pittsburgh.
And I've been there a lot of times, and that's not a good feeling right there, where you come in on a game that you're expected to win. There's nothing really good that can happen to you, and all bad, and that's what's happening tonight for Pittsburgh. And Todd Reardon's peeling the paint off the bench.
You didn't see anybody yawning in that little...
No, Rafi wasn't in that clip.
Yeah, he was once caught. That's an unbelievable... Do we have time for that story? Just briefly tell what happened to him.
Well, we were getting killed in Edmonton, and Hockey Night in Canada panned the bench to see the reaction on the players, and one of our favorite players, Rafi Torres, is thinking that's a good time for a bear yawn. And he saw it the next day in front of a lot of people, but good guy, Rafi.
And got a game, right? He was asked to sit out a game.
He told me the story, and I had to refresh your memory, but he told me that you sat him for a game, and rightfully so. He was one of the more embarrassing moments of his career.
It's a yawning scratch.
Funny for us to laugh
Are you sure he
about
wasn't tired? He tried to,
it's a lack of oxygen, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what he said.
It's a medical condition, and you spend asked him for it.
And he is coaching now TJ and Brody, Jeff Merrick's children. He's kind of their mentor, and why they're such great hockey players up in Stouffville here in Ontario. So, Jennifer, you also had this right, not to pat ourselves on the back, but you said before the game, Kyle Connor, it's not like you found a needle in a haystack, but right again, Kyle's just great.
They do continue to show such great chemistry between Kyle Connor and Pierre-Luc Dubois. But for the LA Kings coming into Winnipeg, the Kings have won 7 in a row. This is sort of a statement game for them against Winnipeg, where Winnipeg's been good at home. But on Kyle Connor's goal, again, Dubois was great on the entry. Stanley takes the shot and Connor gets the rebound. But again, how shifty Connor is in the offensive zone, finds Dubois in the open space, then cycles high, gets another quality shot on from the slot. So these two are finding each other on the ice, whether it's the entry, whether it's a shot pass, down low. Great work in terms of the effort of trying to retrieve the puck. I love the stutter step, trying to spin away from the pressure, gets it down low. Then Dubois is the one to get down there and battle hard and play physical, see the opening, walk it out in front. So here's two guys finding each other on the ice, trying to get the results to do more when they know they're up against a really good LA Kings team right now who's been playing really well.
Well, this has been a great statement game for the LA Kings, too, coming in here against a very hot, very good Winnipeg Jet team, and they're proving that they're for real tonight.
And over in Detroit, glad Jake Allen survived. Larkin was pushed into him, but it was way too much like Marc-Andre Bergeron knocking a lad into Rolison. That's too painful, Craig. We'll keep you away from that. Short break. Our coverage continues on Hockey Night in Canada.
Edge IQ, which is powered by AWS, the official cloud infrastructure provider of the NHL. Joseph Woll, his debut here tonight. Most of the shots coming from the outside as the team in front of him trying to protect his netminder. He said this week, I feel like I belong, and now an opportunity to try to close things out here in this third, Chris.
Oh, Joseph Woll with 19 stops so far, and he has looked cool, hasn't he?
He has, and that was the first shot of the game, which was a difficult one. Trying to get your bearings with all the traffic in front of you is one of the biggest challenges, to calm yourself down, to play like you always had. Mom's looking on, clapping, and got a smiling face, and you know you're going to get a lot of support from that man, Jack Campbell, as your backup for the night. And you know what's interesting about Campbell in these tight games lately for the Toronto Maple Leafs, Chris, he's made all the big saves when his team has needed it. When they've made a mistake, he's been able to come up with a save that calms everybody down. The challenge here for Woll will be trying to do similar in this third period.
Remarkable run for Campbell, who's been very supportive of young Joseph Woll. Calls him Quickie 2.0 in reference to Jonathan Quick and his flexibility, and Woll's as well. Now it's Kerfoot out on the ice with Engvall and Camp, who opened the scoring tonight as they move down into the Buffalo zone and battle in behind the Sabre net. Dahlin flips it up off the glass. Camp trying to get it back, and Dahlin will claim the puck and take control. That one ricocheted right in front. Chance, and it's whipped wide by Engvall on a strange hop that gave Engvall a scoring chance.
There's another guy who's desperate to get off the schneid. He hasn't scored in 14, and just a surprise opportunity there in the mid-slot as that one bounced and came to him.
There comes Marner into the zone, watched by two Sabres, gets it to Tavares. Back to Marner, knocked off his stick as he was tied up by Hinostroza. And back the other way comes Drake Caggiula, centering pass, and Paige Thompson knocked down on the, or Dylan Cousins knocked down on the play. Fed ahead for Ritchie. Now Marner inside the line. John Tavares along the end boards, and Dylan Cousins back there. World Junior star a couple of years back, and here's Hinostroza at the end of a shift, working his way in past Muzzin and behind the net, and now taken back by Muzzin. By the way, it's been a quiet game in the hit department, or they're very stingy here in Buffalo. The hits were 6-5 through 2 periods in favor of the Sabres.
It really hasn't been an overly physical or even that emotional game, and often for Toronto it's 3 games in 4 nights, and for Buffalo you got back-to-backs. I mentioned Engvall, he's in good position. He's thinking defense to support up top, and that quick reaction changes. All of a sudden you got to think about shooting. There's an errant pass that bounces out, and he had to reach far for it and had to get around the body of Pysyk, and that made it a difficult task to get it on net. It ended up going wide and around.
Let's face it, the intensity on the ice might be affected by the lack of intensity here in the stands. It's kind of unsettling to see this many empty seats in a building for a game that usually has a raucous environment. There are many reasons for it, and COVID certainly a major one.
I'm not sure it's the defining one, though, and this situation in Buffalo has been a taxing one on all. And you're right, this has usually got a great atmosphere, a little back and forth between Leaf fans who come in and Buffalo Sabres fans, but there's been none of that.
About 8,500 here last night for an emotional win over the Edmonton Oilers. They've been a good home team, too. They're 5-1-1, but here comes Asplund down the ice along with Skinner, dropping it off to Colin Miller, who works his way in. Back to the line it goes. Covering the point is Thompson. Now he's in the slot, and a good stick there to deflect that out of play.
Well, great read by Austin Matthews as sort of the key guy down low. If you're the centerman, your focus is the down low to help your D. But watch Nylander. He turns the wrong way and allows Thompson to walk right in. But a quick stick there by Matthews doesn't allow any chance to happen. And if I'm Nylander, I'm giving my centerman a little tap. That's a missed assignment by 88 and a great defensive play by 34.
So face off to the left of Joseph Wall. From Boston College, the same school that produced Thatcher Demko, Corey Schneider, among others. It's been a good goaltending school in the past. And we talked about the fans here, and maybe they're in a wait-and-see mode because the future looks bright, but they've heard this before, and they thought it was going to be built around Jack Eichel. Now it's going to be built around this collection.
Yeah, and the Eichel trade obviously looms over everything. Peyton Krebs is playing in Rochester, the American League. You still Alex Tuck, native of Syracuse, that hopefully will bring some excitement, but he's not ready to play yet. So it's a lot of wait and see, I think, here for Sabre fans.
Puck slides back in the Toronto zone. It's certainly an absence of the great throng of Canadian fans because of testing requirements going across the border. Cycled by Bunting, a goal scorer tonight, to Semyonov, to the line, and a pass across for Riley, and he flicks that high. Semyonov's on it. Back to TJ Brody. Riley in the slot. Bunting looking for Spezza. Jason Spezza with an assist tonight. And now 10 points shy of Dave Keon on the all-time point list. Keon number 95. All-time scoring. Engvall off the bench. Engvall fires it wide. Looks for his own rebound and comes up with it. Gets it to Kemp. Leafs trying to hem the Sabres in. Riley's shot missed the target. Around for Brody. Backed up by Kemp. Leafs are changing and trying to grind the tired Sabres here. On the move is Brody. His shot went high as Dell went down, and the puck out of play as we join Kyle.
Chris, just to follow up on the Sabres prospect situation, talked to Sam Cosentino a couple days ago, and the big name, of course, Owen Power. He's been as expected in the Sabres' mind so far at Michigan again this year. Jack Quinn, 8 goals in 10 games in Rochester, and don't forget Devin Levi, the goaltender that they got from Florida, late bloomer, who is having a dominant start to the year at Northeastern. So there is some hope, at least, at each position going forward from a prospect perspective in the Sabres organization.
Power 2 goals and an assist last night. And Jack Quinn scored in Rochester last night. Craig, that goaltending piece might be the most important based on the current situation in goal. Jake Muzzin around. Craig Anderson's injured, the veteran goaltender, who won't be part of this future, but trying to be a stopgap measure, along with Dustin Tokarski, who was great last night. Jake Muzzin's shot floats wide. David Kamp's got it off the end boards. Leafs continue to ham the Sabres in, and a pass for Engvall out of his reach. Rolling back, and Joseph Wall's gonna do some wandering and play it ahead. Good pass up to Kerfoot. Around to the far side for Tavares. Leafs trying to stay in Buffalo's end, and Marner with a look, shot it wide. Marner's got it back up high. Nick Ritchie has come out onto the ice, and that one played around to the far side where Tavares gives chase against Bryson.
Of course, this whole sequence in the offensive zone started with the Semyonov line, and then the third line coming out after, following it up. Now you get Tavares, and the pressure continues. In a one-goal game, that's what you hope for if you're Sheldon Keefe. You keep the depth guys involved, and they get the momentum going in this end of the ice, protecting the one-goal lead and try to get the next one.
Tavares looking for Ritchie, unable to make the connection, and Colin Miller ahead. Here's Hinostroza over the line, and Kajula whipped it high. Good look for Drake Kajula. Off the stick of Nylander at center. Just past the 6-minute mark of the third. Brody reversing it for Riley. And now the Leafs head north with a stretch for Nylander off his stick. The smooth skating Dahlin reverses it. And now Buffalo works their way out. Jeff Skinner to the Leaf line. 2 points tonight for Skinner. He ducks behind the Leaf net. And now swivels it back towards Asplund and Dahlin. Yeah, that one deflected off his stick, just past the outstretched glove of Wall. Skinner looks for it. Comes up with it to Dahlin and back. Matthews there, and the Leafs are out. Nylander will chip it in. That'll start a change. Nylander stays out, steals. But he had Spezza in front of the net and can't get it to him. And now Asplund. Here comes Asplund over the line, and that ramps up off a stick and out of play. 7:07 gone in the third. It remains 3-2 Leafs. Thompson, Joseph Wall. How about the Phoenix Roadrunner connection of the early 90s, a minor league team that's become prolific for producing NHL talent. Tage's dad, Brent, was on that team. Jeff Chychrun played on that team. Father of Jacob Chychrun, the star of the Arizona Coyotes, and Sylvain Couturier, whose son we saw on Wednesday night in Philadelphia, Sean Couturier. The next year, Jimmy Vesey's dad played there. And so did Ed Costello, whose son Mark is playing for Belleville. So a lot was going on in Phoenix back in the early 90s.
Who doesn't want to play in the desert, I guess?
Here comes Engvall in front, and Kerfoot couldn't reach it, but the Leafs are going to get their first power play of the night with 7:26 gone in the third.
Desjardins agents and advisors are delivering $3 million in Good Spark grants to small businesses across Canada. Apply for yours at goodsparkgrants.ca.
Another example of third line doing exactly what they had to do. David Kampf does a good job winning the draw in the defensive zone on a defensive zone face-off at the end of the commercial. Get the puck up ice, drive to the net, does Kerfoot, and he draws the first power play opportunity for the Maple Leafs.
Well, the Leafs 0 for 3 last night in the game against Calgary. It was the first time in 7 games without a power play goal. They are 3 for 17 on the road, but now up to 8th best in the league on the power play.
Well, you just sense the confidence of this whole unit has just grown immensely. And Sheldon Keefe said they weren't that great last night, but here's an opportunity to win you the hockey game. Your first one of the game, and couldn't come at a more important time to get a little cushion.
Sabres 10th on the kill. Tavares is into the skates of Matthews. Back to Riley and across. There's Nylander. William Nylander down low. Marner. Matthews up top. And it's Nylander shooting right on, and Darren Dells got that.
I think that's a timing play there that Marner is a little frustrated. He was sliding off away from in front of Dell. Watch the front of the net as it comes, the cycle from side to side, from the side up high to the point over to the other, and you know that the confidence there is for Nylander, but Marner was expecting a pass down low to get that bumper, so he wasn't there for the screen.
Now Spezza on the ice, and from the drop, Buffalo able to come up with it. Denikin will send it down the ice. Eakin and Kajula on the kill here as Wall hands it off to Jake Muzzin. The only defenseman for the Leafs with a goal so far this year. Jason Spezza onto the right side. Ritchie back for Spezza. Unable to get that to the front of the net, but it comes back to Bunting. Now Engvall gets it set up. His only goal, and it's come on the power play this year. Spezza moves in front of the net and knocked away from Ritchie. Eakin can't clear, kept in at the line by Muzzin. Now Bryson's got a chance. He's got Eakin in behind the blue line, but offside is the call. Well, discover your next favorite CBC podcast, like a death in Cryptoland or the next call on the CBC Listen app. Download it for free today.
I find it interesting. Good job of keeping some competition going on the power play units. Nothing happened early on for the Matthews unit. They came right off, but you got 27 seconds left, and now you put them right back on. You have faith. Second unit wasn't able to get anything going. Get the first unit right back out here to try to end things off.
Now Matthews in. He'll get it back to Marner and across Nylander. Fanned on that. In behind the net, Tavares. Matthews, that got by Nylander. Marner to the point. Riley scores! May have been tipped in front by Tavares, and the Leafs get another power play goal.
Now that's textbook in terms of, so often you see that first unit, okay, it's an important one. It's only been the first power play. They'll stay out for the entire 2 minutes. Bad things can happen. Now you give them a little tap on the wrist. There's the great deflection in front. And his 100th goal as a Toronto Maple Leaf is a typical one for John Tavares. Great positioning. He got Nylander taking Pysyk to the outside, making sure that he just gets it through as Morgan Riley. It's not about the speed of that shot. It's the fact that it got through to the front of the net. Great hands by Tavares. Good ending to that power play. And that's more important than percentages, Chris, when you score on the power play, and that's a key one there for Toronto.
Milestone goal for John Tavares, who has 8 on the year and now points in 7 of his last 8. Back in comes Cousins to the backhand, shuffled wide. So Morgan Riley will get an assist on a goal that gives the Leafs their second 2-goal advantage of the night. And the Leafs now 11 for 44 on the power play this season. Dahlin is in. That shot whistled wide of the net. Hinostroza. Dahlin out in front. Thompson. Shot rejected by Spezza. Dahlin again. Sabres looking to respond. Big Teach. Thompson's got it. Morgan Riley defending, and Spezza able to get it out to center ice. Now Spezza nearly got loose at the Buffalo line as Toronto sends it deep. Under 9.5 minutes to go. Haig and now Butcher up on this right wing, digging down there is Asplund. Comes loose, Thompson in front, scores! Skinner's got another, and it's a 1-goal game again.
One thing you try to teach a young team is to respond. You give up a power play goal, you go down by 2. The very next shift is in the offensive zone. This is Asplund, who does a great job of disrupting the play for Dermott. Dermott ends up with an errant pass that goes on the stick of Thompson, and it's tape to tape for an easy tap in of Skinner. But it's the force of Asplund there and disrupting Dermott, forcing that turnover that creates that play. This line has been the best line for the Sabres all night, not just from the point production, but from the offensive zone time. They've controlled the puck well, and they've made things happen, and now they make it an interesting last 9 away.
Well, that's the Jeff Skinner that Buffalo Sabre fans want to see. 3-point night for him, and now 5 on the season. The goal comes a minute 25 after Tavares and extended the Leaf lead. Centering pass, and Ritchie sprawls. Muzzin shot off the shin guards of Opozo. Marner whipped it wide. As now the Leafs trying to get it back. And it's flipped away by Colin Miller.
It's the old punch-counter-punch, isn't it? That's a great first shift in response to that goal.
It's game on, isn't it? Here we go. And now it is Bjork trying to get loose. Opozo stopped by Wall. Opozo behind the net. Wall's down, lost his stick. Oh no, that's Marner without a stick. Oh, Wall didn't have a stick. He's got Marner's. He's trying to pick the right one here. Shot scored! Buffalo's tied it. And Joseph Wall had the wrong stick in his hand.
Boy, a tough position to be in for your first ever National Hockey League game. Things happen quickly. You got to react to so much in front of you. A yard sail in front. He turns to his back and loses his stick, as you mentioned. In the midst of it, Marner had lost his. So instead of finding, take whatever you can get. But this is one that he's out deep in his blue, and that one gets underneath his arm. He able to grab, but look, he didn't get out aggressively. This shot comes through and maybe hits Hall a little bit right before it gets to him, but he throws Marner's stick in disgust. Another big momentum swing here for the Buffalo Sabres.
2:59 for the Sabres, and that 4-2 lead evaporated in a hurry. Here's Thompson firing it right on. Loose in front and backhanded wide. Across it comes to Skinner in front. Wall came across and robbed Asplund. And suddenly a sleepy game has become over-caffeinated here. Back at the line, a shot, and it deflects up onto the netting. And a frenzy of action here with 7:39 to go.
A game that looked in complete control for the Maple Leafs can turn in a quick manner. The Buffalo Sabres make it interesting, 4-4. They come on strong. This line has been dominant for the Buffalo Sabres tonight.
Well, I guess that's the welcome to the NHL moment, unfortunately, for a young goaltender.
Absolutely. And, you know, as a goaltender, you've had moments like this all throughout your career coming up to the NHL, but man, things can change so quickly. It would look like it may be an easy ending. Almost ended up with a 5th Buffalo goal, as right on the doorstep was Asplund. He wasn't able to get it. Time for Wall to have a good commercial break, settle himself down, and prepare himself for this last 7:35.
Sabres looking for their 7th win in 14 games. They didn't win their 7th last year until the 35th game. Enduring an 18-game losing streak. Well, 15-3. Long jam along the boards. It's finally dug out, but a pass to the point sends it right back into the Leaf zone. Tracking the Sabres of late. It was protecting leads that had been a problem for Buffalo in recent games when they endured a 5-game winless streak. But tonight, they've shown plenty of resilience. Muzzin ahead for Marner, chips it in, and Nick Ritchie's after it. Up against Bryson. Back is Kajula. Hall, but in between there, and it's off his stick and out. John Tavares looked like he scored the goal that might be enough tonight, but it's not. Hall along the boards. Marner in the corner. And it's flicked out by Cousins. That's an icing call against the Sabres. Well, find your new favorite show after tonight's game on CBC Gems. Start streaming for free.
Well, here's your opportunity with a bit of a tired Cousins line out there with an icing. Matthews and company come on, looking to win that draw, keep the pressure on.
Sabres out on that face-off win. Kajula. Hinostroza chasing after it against Dermott. Leafs so solid on Wednesday night, protecting a 3rd period lead. What a different story here tonight. Matthews around. Travis Dermott at the right point. Looks for Nylander. It comes to Matthews. Austin Matthews off the inboards. Leafs trying to get it back. Nylander after it. The Buffalo's going to work their way out. Martin Pesic over the line as the Sabres make changes. Pesic attacking. Liljegren upending him, and the fans react, but the officials do not. From the corner, here's Rasmus Asplund as this hot line comes back out. Weak shot kicked away. Skinner, a wall with a huge stop there. Skinner looking for the hat trick. At the line, Bryson. Robert Hagg fires right on, and Joseph Wall holds on.
Well, credit Wall for battling in there when he can. He tried to get the rebound away from Jeff Skinner in front, but instead he's able to stay with it, slide across, and get a piece of that one with his right pad to keep it a tie game. Among anxious moments, there'll be many more to come in his NHL career.
Very interesting.
4 seconds left on a power play. It's a 4-2 game thanks to Tavares. A turnover by Dermott, a tap in by Skinner for his second, and then a little chaos in the crease as Hall's got Marner's stick. Can't get control of it. That one sneaks through, and in 59 seconds, it's a tie game.
Chaos is a good word for this third period. Engvall beat out an icing call there and took away the stick of Dell. So now Aaron Dell doesn't have a stick. See if the Leafs can take advantage of that. Eakin. Dell gets it handed back to him in a hurry. Hagg up the boards. And Gergensen sends it out. Opozo to this right wing side. And Cody Eakin plays it in behind the Leaf net. Kyle Opozo's got a pair of assists tonight. And out comes Kerfoot. Morgan Riley, who assisted on the Tavares goal. Bounces it in on Dell. Kerfoot looking to retrieve, but it bounced to Eakin. Now Colin Miller advancing for the Sabres. Lost it inside the line, trying to swat it off the stick of Ball, who ships it away. Opozo was headed off, but fires it back in before leaving the ice. Now Muzzin stretches it out. Nick Ritchie's in. Ritchie against Pesic. Ritchie puts it in front. Hinostroza was there. The Leafs get it back, and that's kicked away by Dell as Marner let it go. Tavares plays it into the corner. Marner trying to take it away, but flipped out to center ice by the Sabres, who start a change. Muzzin up past Marner with 3.5 left here in the third. Leafs in overtime last night. They're headed back there again. Behind the net, it's Matthews trying to come out in front. Got a whack at it. Knocked down was Kasha. Now the Sabres send it to center. Knocked down by Riley. Back in. Austin Matthews. Shot, and that's stopped by Dell. He got put by Bunting, who comes across. So it's Matthews along with Bunting and Kasha here. Kasha inside the line. Around for Kerfoot, who's come off the bench. Tied up by Thompson. Skinner. And now at center, the Leafs get it back. Back in comes Kerfoot. Morgan Riley right on. Rebound knocked wide. What a chance for Matthews after Dell made the stop off Riley. Under 2.5 minutes left. Shots now 27-23 Buffalo.
You can hear Morgan Riley yelling from up here, couldn't you? That was just a great read and an excellent save.
Here's John Hayden. Hayden trying to cut in. Followed there by Muzzin. To the near side with room for Ritchie to flip it away. And it's an offside call. And a few different combinations now for Sheldon Keefe late.
Well, a couple great chances for Matthews. This one, though, he had to reach way out to his left, so he didn't get an ability to get that one up. Tried to go 5-hole. There's the drop pass, and through traffic, that one found its way through Dahlin, and Dell, with a little bit of traffic in front of him, got a little push to the side, able to get a pad on that one to stop Riley from getting his first of the year.
Under 2 to go as Marner sends it in. Tavares, Richie Marner, and Dell lost it. Marner with a backhand, and Aaron Dell nearly gave it away.
Boy, I said at the other end with Wall having some problems early on, but this is almost a terrible giveaway. For a split second, he feels the pressure. He thought that his defenseman, Bryson, was going to go at it. Instead, Bryson went off into the corner expecting a pass, but a pretty good recovery back to the middle and able to hold on and not allow a rebound.
Tavares on this face-off against Eakin. And a battle won by Eakin as Girgenson's able to flip it away. Here's Haig moving in, has his pocket picked by Tavares. Marner lost it. Girgenson's in behind the Leaf net, but Toronto gets it back. And TJ Brodie sends it ahead. Richie will chip it in. The Leafs are changing, and well, Matthews comes back over the boards. Matthews finds the puck behind the Buffalo net, centered it, and Kyle Opozo is there. Sent back to the Leaf line. Both teams finish their changes. Matthews up against Colin Miller, knocked away from him. We're into the final minute of regulation time. Andre Kasha. Kasha shot off the leg. Bunting in there as well. Not sure if we've seen William Nylander. This is the second straight Matthews, Kasha, Bunting combination. And it's Bunting up top. Shot got through. And the rebound knocked to the corner. Asplund against Bunting. Back to Muzzin. It hopped over him and out. Under a half minute to go. Here's Matthews ahead. Striding after it is Engvall, trying to take it away from Miller. On that far side, Kerfoot up with it. It's Morgan Riley, scores! With 11.8 to go! It's a defenseman scoring what looks like a game winner here in Buffalo.
And what a release by Morgan Riley. It's almost like a delayed reaction. It was on his stick and it was hesitate for a couple of seconds. Looked like the puck even popped up. We saw the one-timer he had earlier. He unable to find it past Dell. But this is a turnover down low. Great pinch by Kerfoot. And look at just the hesitation. And oh yeah, this puck is sitting flat on his stick. A little knuckle puck that has eyes right off the crossbar and down. But it's the quick release, the momentum of it, and a perfect position. Not much of a reaction from Sheldon, but Mrs. Wall, yeah, get up and get cheering there. Your son held the fort when the pressure was on, and just the second defenseman for Toronto to score this year. Couldn't have a bigger goal for Morgan Riley than that one.
So 1948, the time of Riley's first goal in 20 games. Of course, his shot was deflected by Tavares for the fourth goal.
But sometimes when the puck is up on your stick like that, you have no idea where it's going to go. Look, it's not lying flat, and it just catapulted and even had some backspin. I don't think you get that kind of a reaction if it's on flat of your stick. Kevin BX is always talking about the spin of the puck. That one, the knuckle puck went off and bit back down, landed 2 inches in front of the goal line, and found its way to the back of the net. Amazing.
So that close to posting a first career NHL win for Joseph Wall. Camps out there along with Kerfoot, and they win the draw. They'll scoop it down the ice. The extra attacker's out, but Sabres are running out of time. Fired down the ice. Wall's going to glove it. Joseph Wall's going to hold it, and Joseph Wall's got his first National Hockey League win.
Oh, what a night all around. It is some craziness in this third period. He hung in there, he battled hard and got the saves when he needed it. And the back end for the Maple Leafs, Morgan Riley with a huge goal for his first, wins this game in Buffalo.
8th win in the last 9 for the Maple Leafs, their 10th win of the year. Now let's head to Winnipeg for overtime with Harna Ryan Singh and Sam Cosentino.